a champion boxing in sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So a big buzz going on about this past weekend about Errol Spence defeating Ugas. But let's just keep it real, right? Gotta give him his respect. He won. Kind of remind me of what he went through, what Mayweather went through when he got rocked by Shane Mosley. Mayweather was able to hold on for dear life. And then he came back vicious. And we know what happened the rest of that fight after Mayweather got through that round. So there's a good parallel between Mayweather and Spence where it shows somebody going through some adversity and overcoming that to return to the fight and dominate the rest of the fight. And almost, and in Mayweather's case, he almost got Mosley out of it, but Mosley was holding a lot. And Errol Spence's case, he was fortunate to damage the Ugas' eye enough to where the referee had to stop it. But there's something else that, not many people are talking about, and I don't know why. Okay, so in that round, I believe it was round 6, Errol Spence got hurt several times by Ugas. If you think I'm talking out of my backside, go back and watch the fight, watch the highlights. Even during the fight, I was jumping up, cussing at my TV because I couldn't believe that the referee stopped the action like he did. Now, I get it. There's got to be a lull in the action. The mouthpiece comes out. But Errol Spence got hurt twice in that round. He got hit by a right hand. Okay? That right hand was a sneaky right hand. You had to watch the video like several times just to see how Ugas throws it, because it's not wide. It's like he throws it from in here and just shoots it straight down the pipe and caught Errol on the chin. And Errol went back. It's like his equilibrium was off balance a little bit and his body swayed. Then when he came back in, Ugas threw another shot, and it's more like a hook, but instead of the fist hitting him, like the forearm part here, hit him, Errol Spence, like in the chin and the chin and the jaw area, and that dazed Errol Spence badly. And that's when Errol Spence's mouthpiece came out. And if you watch Errol Spence, and his eyes were glassed over, and he started walking aimlessly, like in a daze, like a damn zombie, like to go get his mouthpiece or wherever the hell he was going. And Ugas hit him with that 1-2, boom, bop, and Errol Spence fell into the ropes, which that should have been a knockdown because the ropes kept him up. And then when Errol Spence came off the ropes, he has a lot of dog in him. He had his guard up. This is where Ugas messed up, because Ugas didn't have that killer instinct. And he should have immediately jumped on Spence. Once he saw Spence was dazed and he hit him with that 1-2, he should have immediately jumped on him. Now this is where the similarities end between Mayweather and Mosley, Spence and Ugas. Because if Mosley would have had Mayweather dazed like that to where Mayweather was walking around in a damn zombie-like state looking for a mouthpiece, Mosley would have murdered him in that ring. Mosley would have tried to tear his head off. But unfortunately for Mosley, Mayweather held on for dear life. Okay, so the thing with Ugas is he didn't have the killer instinct. He played himself. It's okay to be nice in the ring, but they got to understand, this is still boxing. It's protect yourself at all times. It's not his fault if he comes in and he breaks Errol Spence's jaw because Errol Spence is looking for a mouthpiece and the referee doesn't jump in to say anything. It's free play. Let your hands go, man. You're trying to win. You're trying to unify these belts. So Ugas, without having that killer instinct, he let Spence off the hook. And then once Spence came back, Ugas was still giving him the business because Spence was still dazed. And then the referee jumped in. And the referee gave him a lot of time to recover. And then Derek James knew what he was doing, so he slow-leaked the process, which is a smart thing to do. Talking to him, and the referee should have been on him. If that would have been, what's my boy, man? He was the judge, man. Mills Lane. Mills Lane would have snatched that mouthpiece out of Derek James' hand and shoved it in Spence's mouth and told him, get back and fight. He would have probably cussed at James for slow leaking the process. But this referee didn't do that. This referee saved Spence's backside, and and that's a fact. Okay. And then we all know when Spence came back, he got busy. And when you look at when you look at the scenarios, Mayweather didn't have a referee to save him because Mayweather had the wherewithal to hold on. Mayweather came back very strong. And when you look at Ugas, he had the opportunity of a lifetime, and he didn't seize it. He found a way to lose. And I'm talking about the 6th round. Because even when it was happening, I was out my seat. I was like, because it just happened out of nowhere. I saw when Spence got hit with those first couple shots. But when Spence was dazed and just walking in the mouthpiece, when I was watching that, I was thinking about the recent fight, Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin. When Ortiz hit him with that damn left hook, that left hand, boom! And Martin just looked this way and was like at the crowd looking like a dead robot. Like Martin was out. And then Ortiz had that killer instinct. He immediately jumped on him. He didn't stop to see what the referee was going to do. He immediately converged on him. And then Martin ended up tangled up in the damn ropes looking stupid. Ugas should have done the same thing. What a story that would have been. That Ortiz got a man hurt and dazed. He jumped on him with the Cuban killer instinct. That's what we'd be calling this right now. The Cuban killer instinct. Because Ortiz would have done a similar thing to Charles Martin, where he dazed him and jumped on him, didn't give him an opportunity to breathe, and got him out of there. Ugas would have done the same thing where he dazed Spence, what is a shocker to everybody, and then converged on him and got him out of there. What we'd be talking about right now would be along the title of the Cuban killer instinct. Instead, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, the guys with the Earl Spence is collecting broken orbitals. So let's just be honest, man. So I think it wasn't a robbery, but the referee saved Spence by giving him a lot of that time to recover. So you can disagree with me if you want. That's a fact. But then after that, Ugas just inactive, man. He didn't let his hands go enough. So it's unfortunate. And yeah, Earl Spence's work rate had a lot to do with Ugas not fighting back. But Ugas is a counterpuncher. And the thing is this, every time Ugas did let his hands go, he hurt Earl Spence. You guys got to understand something, right? Because now we're talking about Spence, him going up to fight Crawford. If Crawford hits Spence and dazes Spence, you think Crawford's going to sit back and watch for about 3-4 seconds to try to figure out what's going on and then let his hands go? Man, Crawford is vicious. He hurt Spence. Spence is out of there. And you can say, well, Spence has been hurt in a fight. Bullshit. When Spence was fighting this guy, Lardy. First round, Spence got the guy hurt. Second round, hurt him. Spence was just outworking him. One of the top rules in boxing is never stop fighting. Because you don't know what can happen when you let your hands go. And this guy, Lardy, around the 7th round, it was towards the end of the round, and he was still letting his hands go. And he hit Spence with a shot that spun Spence around, and Spence was on Queer Street. I mean, the man was like, moonwalking, like he was electric sliding all over that damn ring. But the bell rang and it saved him. So the story is, Earl Spence can be hurt. He is chinny. He tucks his chin down. He has great defense. But Earl Spence is chinny. If you catch him clean, Earl Spence can't take that shot. He doesn't have a chin like Danny Garcia, like a Joe Joyce. I'm talking about different weight classes, but just giving you an idea of guys with iron chins. You understand? And I'm talking about guys present day that you guys should be familiar with. I'm not going to go all the way back and talk about Chavez and all. Some of y'all probably claim you watch boxing, but you don't even know what the hell I was talking about. But you see that Danny Garcia? That's what you call a granite chin. You see that Joe Joyce? That's what you call a granite chin. And when you see Earl Spence, not a granite chin. But you got to be real because him and Terrence Crawford fight. Terrence Crawford's chin is questionable too. Because when he fought the Green Machine, he knew what to do. He grabbed on like Mayweather grabbed on to Mosley. He held on for dear life. And that referee, I think it was the same referee. The referee saved Terrence Crawford's backside. I don't care what you say. He saved him, said it was a slip, that was a knockdown. And then what happened? Terrence Crawford did like what Mayweather did and just like what EJ did. Came back super strong, dominated the fight, got him out of there. So there's a common thread, you see, although there's similarities in these fights I'm talking about with Crawford and Mean Machine, Spence and Ugas, Mayweather and Mosley, there's a common thread as far as guys getting hurt, somehow surviving, and then them coming back and dominating. But the difference in those three fights is Mayweather didn't have a referee help him. Mayweather did that shit on his own. You know, Mayweather did it on his own. And he knew what to do. Crawford got help from that referee. I don't care what you say. It should have been a knockdown. He didn't rule it as a knockdown. And EJ got help from that referee by giving him all that time to recover. In addition, the things that were done negatively, for the guy who actually hurt the opponent's Mean Machine, he just couldn't get Crawford out of there for some reason. So he found a way to lose. You had a man hurt like that, and just couldn't get him out of there. Ugas, he let up off the gas. He should have jumped on him and got him out of there. Shane Mosley, I think he didn't condition himself well enough because Shane Mosley just couldn't keep up with the pace. So in that sense, they found a way to lose, and it's their fault. And the other guys found a way to win. And that's just how I see it. Ugas caught him with a good shot, but Spence was able to come back. So it's very interesting when you look at what's developing here now. I'm getting ready to do another video just to kind of break down the Spence and Terrence Crawford, but that to me is going to be a matter of who lands the first big shot. And I think Crawford is going to touch Spence. And when he touches him, he's going to hurt him. I'm telling y'all, they're talking about Spence. Spence is tough. Spence is a dog. Spence has stamina. Spence has some power. Spence can box. Spence is chinny. Now, people can hate me if they want. I'm telling you, Crawford touches him, it's lights up. I'm telling you, man. He ain't gonna hit him one shot, and Spence just fold over and drop on his face. No, his equilibrium's gonna go off. He's gonna be bouncing around the ring on one leg and trying to get his balance, guard half up, eyes glossed over, and Spence is gonna come and Crawford gonna come in and finish him. I'm telling you, that's my prediction. I watched a lot of footage on Spence. Spence is a monster, but if you catch him clean. If you hold your ground and you let your hands go, short, crisp shots, and you have some power, like what Ugas had, what Lardy had, you get him out of there. Danny Garcia, he was throwing wide looping shots. He wasn't sitting out on his punches, and he looked anxious the whole time. He just couldn't get off on Spence. But Danny Garcia doesn't have the footwork like Crawford either. So you got to really take a look at everything to understand who's going to be the next person to create a scenario like what we saw Saturday where Spence actually gets hurt. And it's going to take somebody with footwork. It's going to take somebody with power and someone who can box the whole 12 rounds and set traps and maybe even switch stances. And there's only one person out there who can do that. It's Terrence Crawford. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. I appreciate your support, but please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe. I'm not biased. You're not going to hear a lot of profanity. I'm not into all that. I'm not a bandwagonist. I love boxing. Whatever your opinions are, leave them. I like to respond. I enjoy the dialogue. But that being said, you guys keep safe. Shout out to all the veterans, and as always, I'm in the breeze.